All right, today we're going to do parallax scrolling. It's going to make a 3D effect by moving objects in the foreground move quicker than objects in the background. This is also going to make our spaceship look like it's moving through space with it relatively standing still. All right, let me show you. All right, the last video, we took that photo and we cut out the planets, all right? I'm gonna show you two, all right? I would like more in your project, around 3 to 5, because I think it'll make your project look more dynamic. You at least need a foreground, midground, and background, so you at least need 3. So I'm gonna show you putting in 2 planets. So the first one I'm gonna put in is Mars, all right? And once you get one in, it's pretty easy to do the rest because we're just going to reuse the code. So right here, I'm going to get Mars. All right, background Mars. Here we go. And there's my image. All right, it is slightly deadened. It is a little bit blurred. All right. Now what I want to do with it is I want it to move across the screen. All right. But I already have something that moves across the screen. I have my alien spaceship moves across the screen. All right. Why rewrite code? You never have to rewrite code you've already written. Why do that? So I'm going to steal the code that I wrote and put it on Mars. I might have to make some adjustments to it, but I just have to do some small adjustments, which is fine. So I'm going to take this code right here. This is the code that makes the spaceship fly across the screen at me. So I want the planet to come at me too. I don't want it to come straight at me. I just want it to go glide across the screen. So I'm going to have to manipulate the code a little bit. So let me copy this. Command C. Go right here. Command V. And there we go. There's our little code. All right. So things that I want to make sure that happens. I don't want my code, thing to come to the front layer because that would be weird if it got in front of the spaceship. So I'm going to put it, I might switch that to the back. I don't know what I want to do with that. So I got that. Then what I'm going to do is I don't need it to wait. I just want it to come across because my ship's instantly moving. I don't need it to wait. So right here, I'm going to have it create itself, but I don't want it to always come repeatedly at the same time. Like I want it to be randomized. I want the background to constantly look like it's different. And the way to do that is by having several planets that come up at different times, so your background is always different. So we have to basically randomly generate the background. And to add randomness to our background is we're going to add the randomness to when the background is generated, when each part is generated, and where it's generated. So I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say instead of 1 second, which is too static, I want it to jump around. I'm going to go to my operations. I'm going to pick a number. And it's going to be between, whatever, 2 and 4. Later, I might change this, but for now, it's fine. The other thing I wanted to do is I don't want it to come straight at the spaceship. All right, that's what the alien ships. It'd be weird if the planet is, a whole planet is coming towards the spaceship. It should just glide by. So I'm going to take out the switch the costume and for it to go to the spaceship. All right, I don't need that. So get rid of all this. I don't need it to switch costume. It's not changing. The planet's not going to change the thing. It's all right here. I'm going to get rid of this code and I'm going to get rid of this code. I am going to end this right here. I don't want it to be random. Maybe it can be a little random. I don't know. We'll keep maybe keep a little bit of the randomness to it. So it could be up a little or a little up. So the first thing is I want it to go to a certain point. So if I restart this, as you could see, it's going to a certain point, but it disappears and it's going super quick. So we have to make all of these small adjustments. I want it to start off screen. So I want it to even start farther back, like way off screen. So I think I'm going to have it start at like 300 or 310, way off screen. And you know what? I wanted this to have it to start pretty low. So it's probably going to be between negative 100 and negative 160. And I don't want it to move this quick. This is freaking flying across the screen. It's faster than the spaceship. So it's going to be pretty, it's going to be 2. All right, negative 2. But if it's going that slow, I'm going to need to have it repeat the steps quite a bit of time. So maybe like 400 steps to get across the screen. So let's see what now happens. All right, he's moving nice and slow. I have my spaceships coming to attack me. He's going nice and slow across the screen. He can move up and down and so on and so forth. So we're doing pretty good. So it's not bad so far. And then it'll wait 2 to 4 seconds after he disappears, and there he comes again. All right, so not super bad. I don't hate it. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to make the negative a lot more. So maybe you can pop up even lower. So like negative 250. It's going to be quite a bit. But he can add high or he can be low. But he's going to stay in this part of the screen. So that's pretty good. Now I want to add in another image. And the other image I'm going to drop in is Saturn. So I just go right here. I go. And there's Saturn. Now, what I'm going to do with Saturn is Saturn's going to be smaller. So I'm going to shrink it down to, 50%. There we go. And I want Saturn to go across, but just a little slower. So I'm going to take the code from Mars. Here we go. I got my code from Mars. And I can copy it. And I can put it on. And I can paste it. The only thing I want with Mars is I want it to move slower. And I can change the position if I want. So I'm going to say, you know what, move at -1. And if I do that, I need to add more steps for it to get across the screen. 500. So let's do that. Just move it and they'll all pop up and they'll move across the screen. The only weird thing is Saturn is in front of Mars, which doesn't make a lot of sense. What I want Saturn to do is, and I don't want it to start so low because I want to see more of Saturn, is I want Saturn to, there's our Mars. I want Saturn to be behind Mars. So this is what I'm going to do. What I have to do with this code is I have to tell Saturn to go to the layer behind everything, not in front, behind. So it's going to be the farthest back layer. And it needs to move slow. So even if Mars goes by, right, and it's going to go by twice the speed, it won't ever be in front of it. All right. So now you have this thing, the closer objects moving. And as you can see, Saturn still doesn't not make it across. And I don't want it to always be down here. So I'm going to change my code for Saturn. I'm going to say, you know what? Be between 0 and -100. And it's going to have a little more. There we go. And I can even make this, -1.3. So maybe it moves a little quicker. So you don't want it to move so slow. So we have our code running. And you know what I'm going to do with Mars? I'm going to shrink Mars just a little bit down to like 80% or so. And I don't want it to go so far down. I think that's a little much. 250. Maybe 200, -200. There you go. And here you go. So with everything, it's always a little bit of like playing around with it. All right. So As you can see, Mars is in front of that. They just glimpsed, and it's pushed back. So things that are forward move faster. Things that are pushed back will move slower. Now we'll have another planet, and that will be smaller and even move slower in the background. And the last thing we're going to do is randomly put in stars, and they will be all the way to the back, and they will move the slowest. And we'll have them randomly generate across the screen to make the star field look different every single time. All right. I hope everybody is having a good day. See you later.